Hello, y'all. My name is Savory, and I'm a budding game developer. I used to program years ago. I usually used Unity. I also experiment in some other engines like GameMaker, but I've returned to making games about a year ago, and I was actually going to start learning Godot, but then because of all the shenanigans that were happening to Unity a while back. But then our GMaker became on sale, and I always wanted to try it, and I didn't realize it had all these features and stuff. So I decided to give it a shot and make a game. And what started just a simple RPG game has grown into this monster that consumes my time. And I actually have two separate games I'm currently in development with it. One's called Cabsy, and the other's called Corpsidino. The Cabsy is a chaser game, and Corpsidino is a horror exploration RPG fishing hybrid game. And yes, it's as interesting as it sounds. So let me run what I have so far. So I am using a bunch of plugins to give me expanded control. This is more of an exploration game. You play it in two modes. You play as this little Jackal guy who's trying to find his brother. Um, and yeah, there's two modes. There's the third person mode where you explore with obviously in third person. Duh. I'm sorry. I'm not good at narrating myself as I show things, and it's something I probably will have to improve on. So I apologize for the awkwardness. So yeah, but then when you go into a lot of these places are really blocky. I'm working on it. In a future update, I'll show what I'm going to do to make it less blocky. For right now, it's very blocky. I'm using a plugin that I've been messing around with called um, MZ3D. And what that allows me is to pretty much put 3D models into RPG Maker. So yeah, I'll show you this dungeon in a different update because I need to explain that one before I. So when I started out, I did mostly blocky. I used standard RPG Maker setup, and then MZ3D would convert it to 3D. But MZ3D is actually very powerful. It has a lot of cool features. I'm still learning how to use it. So and then it has a third person mode, which is very blocky right now. Um, Originally this game it moved via grid, but thankfully the same developer, Qt Virus, a couple months ago released a plugin that allows you to move freely. But it was really buggy, and I had to get help on their Discord to figure out how to make it run smoothly, because it would get stuck on the floor and all sorts of weird crap. So so yeah, I've been starting to implement actual 3D objects, which I'll show you some. Um, I have to be very careful in time. I might have to chop it in 10-minute segments because now this is the old fighting. It's the old This is the standard RPG battle system, which I decided to go against, and I'm working on a custom one. So let's just get out of this. So I'll just show you some interesting areas. Hopefully, in a couple weeks to a month, these will look like totally different ones because I figured out how to make models in Blender and incorporate them into MZ3D to give it a more natural feel, which I'll show at a future update. I apologize again. I'm new to streaming. I'm putting this stuff on YouTube. I'm putting it out. I'm taking a risk. I'm not really comfortable because usually I designed games in my own vacuum. So this will be a different experience. I mean, I've already invested like probably 50 or so hours in what I have already, and I have more to do. So I just like the idea of when you enter a dungeon, you do first person, and then when you go on the overworld, you see you're in third person. I just like that idea. Oh wow, this is really choppy. I wonder why. As you can see, I have things I have to work out on. Originally, I was going to do dinosaur characters. These are really rough, quick models. So I do not know why this area is running so terribly. I've recently updated my MZ3D plugin, so it might be that. So this is one of the main puzzles where you have to find certain items to solve it. When I started, like I said, when I was just using this, how it's set up, everything looks extremely blocky, and I've tried in other levels to make it less so, but that was one of my frustrations with the MC3D engine. That was until I realized I could get around that. So let me show you an example of some of the issues I have. Oh, it's just not going to run because I didn't move my player character. So one of the things I've noticed that about MC3D is that it seems to it doesn't run that great when you put too many 3D events in a scene. So my idea is to actually just make a rough of the area in RPG Maker, like just rough it out in blocks, and then design it in Blender, and then load the entire level in one big model, event model, and then use the hitbox data from the actual RPG Maker game. So yeah, it's just putting blocks on it. Oh, I just filled in my def. That was not intentional. The joys of game dev. So I only get like, until I upload a few videos, I only get like 10 minutes each. So I'll post another update. Thank you. If you watched this, I appreciate you taking the time to listen to my shenanigans. Hopefully I can share more info with you as I progress in this game.